When it comes to training our dogs, many people still believe that using punishment-based tools like pinch collars or choke chains is the fastest way to get results. But did you know that multiple scientific studies have shown that dogs trained with these aversive methods are actually no more obedient than those trained with positive reinforcement? In other words, using pain or discomfort doesn't make your dog listen better, it just changes how they feel about you and the training process. In fact, a landmark study from the University of Pennsylvania found something even more concerning. While there was no measurable difference in how well dogs followed commands, those trained with punishment-based techniques showed a significant increase in aggressive and fearful behaviors. Dogs subjected to harsh corrections were more likely to growl, snap, or even bite, not just during training, but in everyday situations. This means that what some people think of as corrections can actually create long-term emotional problems for our pets. The old myth that you need to physically correct a dog to get them to listen is being debunked by modern science. Today's leading animal behaviorists and trainers agree, positive reinforcement, rewarding the behaviors you want to see, leads to happier, more confident dogs who are eager to learn. Instead of teaching your dog to fear mistakes, you're teaching them to love learning and to trust you as their guide. When a dog feels pain or discomfort from a pinch collar, they may not understand what you want from them. Instead, they often just learn to associate the person holding the leash with fear or anxiety. This can damage the bond between you and your dog, making walks and training sessions stressful instead of enjoyable. Over time, this fear can even lead to more serious behavioral issues like reactivity or avoidance. True control isn't about instilling fear or causing pain, it's about building a relationship based on clear communication and mutual trust. When your dog trusts you, they want to work with you, not because they're afraid of what might happen if they don't, but because they feel safe and understood. The best trainers know that the most effective way to teach is through partnership, not suppression. By using rewards, encouragement, and patience, you can help your dog reach their full potential. Positive reinforcement doesn't just create obedient dogs, it creates dogs who are confident, resilient, and truly connected to their humans. So, what are these training tools really doing, and why does it matter so much how we use them? In the next section, we'll break down the science behind different training methods, explore the impact they have on our dog's well-being, and help you make informed choices for your furry friend. Let's dig into what these tools really are and why this conversation matters, not just for obedience, but for the lifelong happiness and health of our dogs. A pinch collar, also known as a prong collar, is a type of dog training tool made up of a series of interlocking metal links. Each link has prongs that face inward toward the dog's neck. When you look at it, it might seem a bit intimidating or even harsh, but it's designed with a specific purpose in mind. The collar sits loosely around the dog's neck, but when tension is applied to the leash, the prongs tighten and press into the dog's skin. This tightening action causes the prongs to pinch the skin, creating a sensation that is meant to get the dog's attention. The idea is that this discomfort will discourage the dog from pulling on the leash, as the pressure is only felt when the dog tries to move ahead or lunge. Supporters of the pinch collar often claim that it mimics the natural correction a mother dog gives her puppies, a quick nip to communicate boundaries. They argue that, when used properly, the collar simply provides a clear signal to the dog, helping them learn leash manners more quickly. However, the reality is that using a pinch collar correctly is much harder than it sounds. Timing, pressure, and consistency all matter, and most dog owners aren't professional trainers. In real-world situations, corrections can be too harsh, too frequent, or poorly timed, leading to confusion or even fear in the dog. The principle behind the collar is what trainers call positive punishment, adding something unpleasant to decrease a behavior, in this case, pulling. While it can stop pulling in the moment, it doesn't teach the dog what to do instead, and it can have unintended consequences. Think about it, if your dog feels pain or discomfort every time they see a squirrel, another dog, or even just go for a walk, what are they really learning? They might start to associate the pain with things in their environment or even with you, the person holding the leash. This can lead to anxiety, fear, or even aggression over time. That's why the pinch collar is such a hot topic in the dog training world. Some trainers swear by it, while others believe it does more harm than good. The debate is ongoing, and emotions can run high on both sides. In recent years, many veterinarians and positive reinforcement trainers have spoken out against pinch collars, calling them outdated and inhumane. They point to research showing that pain-based methods can damage the bond between dog and owner, and that there are more effective, kinder ways to teach leash manners. Today, tools like front clip harnesses, head halters, and reward-based training are proving to be safer and more effective for most dogs. These methods focus on teaching the dog what you want them to do, rather than punishing them for getting it wrong. So, when it comes to pinch collars, the real question isn't just, do they work, but, is there a better way? That's the conversation we need to have, one that puts the dog's well-being and your relationship first. Supporters say, pinch collars offer immediate control for strong, reactive dogs, preventing dangerous situations. They argue it's a temporary tool, not a permanent fix, and claim it's more humane than constant choking from a flat collar. But the main criticism is clear. Pinch collars cause pain, and that's their entire mechanism. The dog's neck is sensitive. Injuries to the trachea, thyroid, or blood vessels are real risks. Beyond physical harm, using pain erodes trust and can create fear, anxiety, and aggression. Instead of teaching what to do, it teaches what not to do, out of fear. You might stop pulling, but you risk creating bigger, harder to fix problems. Is that a risk worth taking? Dogs learn best through association, classical conditioning. If seeing another dog means a painful pinch, your dog learns to fear other dogs, not just stop pulling. Positive reinforcement, on the other hand, means rewarding good behavior, like walking calmly, with treats or praise. This builds a dog who wants to work with you, not one who's afraid of you. Experts like the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior strongly advocate for positive reinforcement. Punishment-based methods increase anxiety and aggression, making dogs less safe. Training is teaching, not punishing. Would you pinch a child for a math mistake? Of course not. Our dogs deserve the same patience and kindness. Meet Max, a spirited young German Shepherd with boundless energy and curiosity. Like many dogs his age, Max found the world outside his front door incredibly exciting. Every walk was an adventure, and he couldn't wait to explore. But there was a problem. Max pulled hard on his leash, making walks stressful for both him and his owners. No matter how much they tried to hold him back, Max's enthusiasm always seemed to win. Frustrated, his owners decided to try a pinch collar, hoping it would solve the problem quickly. At first it seemed to work. When Max pulled, the collar tightened, and he stopped. But the solution came at a cost. Max began to act differently, especially around other dogs. He seemed tense, and his joyful walks turned into anxious outings. Max started to stiffen and bark whenever he saw another dog. Instead of wagging his tail or showing curiosity, he became defensive and even aggressive. The pinch collar had taught him that the sight of another dog predicted pain, so he tried to scare them away before anything bad could happen. The collar may have suppressed his pulling, but it also created a new problem: fear and anxiety. Max was no longer enjoying his walks. He was constantly on edge, worried about what might happen next. His owners realized that while the pulling had stopped, their bond with Max was suffering. Now, let's imagine a different approach. What if, instead of using punishment, Max's owners chose positive reinforcement? They decided to focus on building trust and teaching Max what they wanted him to do, rather than punishing him for what they didn't want. They switched to a comfortable front clip harness, which gave them more control without causing pain. Every time Max walked calmly by their side, he was rewarded with a tasty treat and plenty of praise. Walks became a time for learning and bonding, not fear. Training began indoors, where distractions were minimal. Max learned to focus on his owners through fun games and rewards. He practiced walking on a loose leash, sitting for treats and playing with toys. These sessions helped Max understand what was expected of him and made training enjoyable for everyone. When they moved training outside, Max's owners set him up for success. They kept a safe distance from other dogs and rewarded Max for staying calm and focused. Gradually, Max learned that seeing another dog was a good thing. It meant treats and praise, not pain or fear. Over time, Max's confidence grew. He no longer felt the need to pull or react aggressively. Walks became peaceful and enjoyable again. Max looked to his owners for guidance, knowing that good things happened when he stayed calm. This positive approach didn't just change Max's behavior, it strengthened the bond between him and his owners. By building trust instead of fear, they created a partnership based on understanding, respect, and love. In the end, Max learned to walk politely, and his family rediscovered the joy of walking together. Pinch collars promise quick control, but the risks are serious. Physical injuries, trachea, thyroid, neck can develop over time. Behavioral fallout is common. Fear, anxiety, and even aggression. Training with pain damages the bond between you and your dog. Dogs may become withdrawn or anxious, not stubborn. The quick fix isn't worth the long-term cost. There are safer, more effective alternatives that protect your dog's well-being. The risks far outweigh any temporary benefit. Ready to ditch the pinch collar? Great. There are humane tools that work. A front clip harness gently redirects pulling without pain. Head halters, like Gentle Leader or Halti, offer control for strong dogs, introduced with treats and patience. The most powerful tool is positive reinforcement. Reward your dog for staying close and checking in. Use a treat pouch filled with high-value rewards to keep your dog engaged. Walks become training opportunities, not battles. Use a longer leash to let your dog sniff and relax. Combine humane equipment with positive training for lasting results. Any dog can learn to walk nicely, without pain. Dog training is about building a relationship, not enforcing obedience through force. Every positive interaction strengthens your bond. Dogs who trust their humans are more confident and eager to learn. Patience is key. Celebrate small wins and break behaviors into manageable steps. Training should be fun and stress-free for both of you. The goal isn't just a dog who walks nicely, but a true partnership. Choose to be your dog's advocate and kindest teacher. That's the foundation for a bond that lasts a lifetime. We've busted the myth that pinch collars are more effective. They often create more problems than they solve. The science is clear: pain-based training is risky and erodes trust. Positive methods build confidence, safety, and a joyful bond. Switching to humane training isn't weakness, it's respect for your dog as a thinking, feeling being. You'll get a happier, more reliable companion. Let's leave painful tools in the past and move forward with kindness and connection. Our dogs deserve nothing less.